Many of us know someone engaged or even a newlywed couple. We got several of them in our own newsroom, actually. One of the biggest challenges couples can face as they're starting off is just starting off on the right financial foot, right? Yep. Local financial professional Mark Henry from Alloy Wealth Management is here to highlight some of the ways you can save on that big day, but also on that road ahead and building that strong financial position. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, thanks.
It's the season, right? We're hearing people planning and get ready. A lot of them got engaged over Valentine's or, early spring. So I want to start with, when it comes to the wedding, I do think social media makes people feel like, I got to do something big or make it special.
Over the top.
So what do you do then?
Yeah, so I think the challenge needs to be, how do we make it this unbelievable day, the greatest day of our lives, but it is just one day, and not start off a marriage that's going to last forever. We have to think that it's going to last forever, and not start it off on the wrong foot. So how do we take this and do something that's the most special wedding ever, and we did it for the least amount of money? Let's think out of the box. Let's break the box in 2023 during this recession and inflation and all. Let's have the most special wedding ever and do it for the least amount of money. Now that's a challenge I can get behind.
I think that's something people would watch on social media as well, right? You can get it done and not really have to spend all that money as well. What should people be prioritizing then for that particular day?
So it all starts with a spending plan. I hate the word budget, as you know, so we're going to start with a spending plan. So first, are you paying for it or is someone else paying for it? And regardless of where the money's coming from, what's the budget? What's the spending plan? How much do we have? And then let's try to go the other direction. Typically, people come up with a spending plan and they go way over. No, let's have a spending plan and then let's figure out how to go way less so we can take that other money that we save and maybe use that for the dream honeymoon or a down payment on our first house. Now there is something cool, right?
That would be very cool. Any tips on where to save specifically?
Well, venue choices in the day. The day is one of the first things we can do. We have to have this special day. Does it have to be Friday or Saturday? Why not Sunday? Why not Wednesday? A Wednesday wedding.
Yeah.
Why not? You say, well, people have to come for it. People love getting off from work. I'm off right now. So let's think outside of the box. I literally heard about a couple that is doing their movie fans. And guess what they did? They decided to have their dream wedding at a drive-in theater.
Oh, that's fun.
They rented a drive-in theater. Everybody's going to come in their car. They're going to show things on the screen that they've done, and they've saved so much money. And this is going to be a wedding that I promise you they're going to talk about for years. Yeah,
that will be fun. We only have about a minute and a half, but I do want to ask you, I think a lot of the things, like you said, is being prepared financially before you step into the marriage, but it's hard to know what questions to ask your partner and feel comfortable with it. What kind of questions would you say you should be asking?
Well, honesty is always the best policy, so we have to decide if we're equally yoked financially. And a lot of times we're not, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that it's not the right person for you. But we have to recognize the differences and we have to be transparent. So what kind of debt are we both bringing into the relationship? And if there is things you haven't talked about, we've got to talk about them before we get married. Don't let it come up later because it's not going to get better.
Right, and so you need to ask if they have debt, right? You need to, what about, do you maintain, one account then once you get married? Do you keep separate? A lot of people want to know what's the best route to go in that regard.
I've seen this, doing my job for so many years now, I've seen this done successfully in a lot of different ways. I personally believe that when there's two separate accounts, there can get into this, like, what are they holding back? It's always got to be transparent. So divide and conquer. If one person's better at the finances, let's let them run with it, always with full disclosure to the other person. Let's talk about where the money's going to go and who's paying what before we start into this relationship.
Yeah, and I know before we run out of time, some of the key things you say to do is to create the spending plan together right away. Don't wait on that. Set aside the emergency fund.
That's got to have it.
That's a big deal. And then make a plan to pay down any debts that do exist.
Got to do it. If we have debt going into the relationship, let's talk about it before we do this.
Good information. Mark Henry, Alloy Wealth Management, putting the information there on your screen for the website, Instagram, and Facebook. Important conversations so we can say I do on the right foot, right?
That's right.
All right, Mark, thanks so much. Kristen, over to you.